What is your purpose? That's the question that we often find ourselves asking over and over again. I've contemplated that thought many times in my mind. I've tried to define my purpose by the multiple different positions that I've held in my lifetime. To God be the glory. I've been afforded the opportunity to be in leadership roles. I've been afforded the opportunity to work with people who probably I would not have had the opportunity to work with if it had not been for His grace. I was placed in positions that I was not necessarily qualified for on paper, but most certainly equipped for by God's grace. Having said that, I'll say this. It is a very humbling experience to go from being where you were and who you were to becoming who you are and defining where you're going. Interesting thought. There was a time that I was a president of a union, and it was a great time. It was a time of prosperity. It was a time of uniformity. We were at 100% membership. Everything was going great. All the things that you could anticipate as a leader were happening. We were making positive strides. And then it happens. The Lord said, your job here is done. And then I became faced with all kinds of adversity. Everything to try to detour me from the purpose that was intended for me. But the Lord said, not you. You're mine. I'm going to take you through this. But I want you to understand, I'm not taking you through this for you to come out on the other side the same. I'm taking you through this so that when you come out on the other side, you can represent the power that I've put inside of you, the human power that I've put inside of each and every one of us to overcome whatever the enemy is trying to portray as trouble. Perception. Perception is the matter of understanding how you view things. At one point, I viewed things from a perspective of saying, okay, I want to be equal to, and I want to be on the same level of everybody who I'm working with. I want to put in the same effort. I want to let everybody know as a leader, I'm willing to get down and get dirty, and I'm willing to do all the things that I'm asking of you. The exact same thing that Jesus Christ has done to each and every one of us. Say, I'm going to get down with you. I am going to do everything that I'm asking you to do. I am going to struggle. I'm going to go through trials. I'm going to go through tribulations. People are going to mock me. People are going to say there's never enough. There's going to be all kinds of excuses throughout life. And then reality. When everything is swept out from under you, whether directly or indirectly, you end up losing everything tangible to follow the Lord. Now, many people would look at that and say, why would you do this? But it wasn't my choice. I was predestined for a purpose at the time of a president, only to be conditioned to move forward as a man of God, understanding the tribulations that come with everything that's incumbent with being a leader. The frustrations, the good times, the bad times, the celebrations, the agony, all of those things come together to define who I am now. I've been through many situations. Dreams achieved or thoughts explored is a testimony of what God has done for me and to me in the transition process. There was a post I read once that says something to the words of, butterflies don't hang out with caterpillars. That's a very interesting thought. Because at the time, each and every one of us had the capability to allow God to cocoon us from the circumstances that we were in, to be able to elevate ourselves above that and fly beyond. But everybody didn't have the instinct to know what it took, when to do it, and how to complete the task. Dreams achieved is a combination of many thoughts. Is geared towards being able to understand your purpose, not to be defined by what anybody think you are, anybody thinks you should be. Not that you shouldn't take positive criticism. We all need positive criticism, but at the same time, you have to be definite in what you are and where you're going, and you seek followers. As a leader, you can actually outlive your post. Out leadership your post. If you continue to grow and you continue to put knowledge out and others refuse to accept it, you are only hindering your growth. You're going to still grow because the eagerness and a desire and a passion to be successful is instilled in you, and it's a part of your DNA. However, these anchors and albatross that like to hang around and like to tell you that it's not your season and that your instincts are wrong and that you are incapable or that you don't have the ability. All of these different things that we need the Lord to cocoon us from, we engage in. And that's why only so many caterpillars live to be butterflies. I challenge each and every one of you to not accept life as it is. Accept life with the understanding that God can and will use you to make a difference in not only your life, but somebody else's. We all understand the frustrations and the aggravations that are going on in this world. We can complain about it. We can blame it on color. We can blame it on gender. We can blame it on a multitude of different things, religion, ethnicity. But at the bottom line core of it, if we all stick to the basic principle, love one another. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I willing to strive as hard? Cain and Abel, same concept. If you're not willing to put forward the effort that it is going to take to be successful, then you cannot be jealous of somebody who is and then want to take it instead of earning it. That is the problem with our society today. We need to learn to understand our own talents, appreciate our own abilities, understand that God has put gifts in each and every one of us individually so that we can collectively come together to form a better union of followers, leaders, mentors, motivators, educators. Everybody doesn't have to be a priest. Everybody doesn't have to be a pulpit master. Everybody doesn't have to be assigned to be a deacon. You are what you are, but be the best at what you are, who you are, instead of making excuses for why you are not where you want to be. We can take time to be pitiful, which pity is the prelude for problems. We can take time to be sorrowful. Sorry only lasts for a moment. Or we can take time and invest in ourselves. We can take time and invest in each other. We can set aside color. We can set aside religion. We can set aside ethnicity. And we can start dealing with real world issues. Issues that are relevant, not man-made deterrents. Starvation, pollution, confusion, distraction, war. Everything is negative. Everything is negative. And we enhance it by allowing it to infest and infect our homes. We bring it home from work. We bring it home from church. We bring it home from school. We bring it home from daily conversations. And we convene together to discuss negativity every day. As opposed to finding something positive so that we can sit at a table, prepare it for the Lord, by the Lord, and enjoy the graces of the Lord as we indulge the nourishment to move forward as leaders, not complainers. Success requires sacrifice, commitment, dedication, and focus. Thank you for this opportunity to come into your homes. I hope that every time we meet is relevant. I pray that every time we convene, it's in the name of God, and we all feed off of this enormous thing called the blessing of life. I ask that we learn to indulge each other's differences, not combat them, and see what we can do if we intermingle thoughts based on love instead of intermingling thoughts strictly based off hatred and confusion. We can't rely on others to be leaders of grown lives. We have to be accountable for ourselves. No president's gonna do it. No executive board is gonna do it. It's the relationship between you and your God that you serve that's going to do it. And the decency and the correctiveness of being able to accept being wrong. It's okay to say I was a racist, but today I'm different. It's okay to say yesterday I hated you, but today I love you. It's okay to say yesterday, you know, brother, I just didn't see it, but today I do. But we got to give each other the benefit of the doubt. We have to give each other the benefit of the doubt. We all come from different backgrounds. And unless we take the time to understand each other, we're in just a cesspool of foolishness. It's time to make a change. Our children are dependent on it. Our elderly are dependent on it. And most certainly, our entrepreneurs of today and future business leaders are dependent on it. The shenanigans must end. It's enough. How can you shut down a free country and justify it? How can you look an elderly person in the face and say, you've committed your life, but at the same time, we have nothing to give back to you in return, even though we're eating our food that was prepared before we got here? When did the world become so political that we forgot to care? When did the world become so political that reality TV isn't real at all? There's nothing real about it. It's just a false concept teaching our people how to disengage with true reality. And it's infectious. It's starting off with the youth and it's elevating all the way out through the elderly. You can't trust anybody. You don't know if you'll have a job today or tomorrow. Stop relying on man. It's our time. It's our time to take back what's rightfully ours and stop begging people to give us what God has already promised. You just have to be committed. Please, let's take a second and realize where we are at this critical juncture in our lives. We have to be vigilant, diligent in the work that we do with our children and our future leaders. We have to be mindful of the things that we feed them. We have to be mindful of the things that we feed them. We have to be mindful of the things that we feed them. I said it 3 times because it's mind, body, and soul. It's up to us. My name is Jermaine Lewis, SRS Motivation. Thank you for your time.